Hey, if there's only 4 or 5 moments that decide one of these games, if you can steal one of them, you may be able to steal the game. And that leads to the next play. There was an eventual attempt by the Broncos to air the ball out. Ball was intercepted by Christian Gonzalez to end. I think that ended up being the last chance for the Broncos.
It was the
they
last offensive play
together because they weren't doing anything.
No,
it's like nothing is working. The only way you're winning this game is on a defensive touchdown. If Drake May does something stupid and the ball, and he didn't, they went into run the ball mode, which is smart. You're taking advantage of that situation. You're not going to give them a chance to get a defensive touchdown because you know that your defense isn't going to surrender anything in these conditions to the Broncos. So the Broncos go for the deep pass. What did you see there that is another example of Vrabel's acumen?
Yeah, well, here's the first part. Look at this. Look how slow and casual. And it was even slower than this. And if we can show it again, rewind it one more time, guys, if you don't mind. But look at this. 9 seconds on the clock. This is deliberate here. New England slowly substituted. The ref is there. There's 4. There's 3. There's 2. Denver was ready for about 10 to 12 seconds. But now you cause chaos and, oh, my gosh, we got to get it off. And, again, I'm not saying maybe this happens regardless. But it is a little thing that stressed the Broncos out in the moment to where, wait, I'd like to see what they're going to line up in. I might check this. And they did the old slow, okey-doke, substitution, the Patriots, that put the Broncos under a time crunch, and now he gets a little pressure. He's waiting for them to line up. Maybe you don't evaluate the coverage the right way. You don't get to do the check like I talked about and all that, and that leads to, I'm just going to throw it up to a one-on-one, and Christian Gonzalez makes the interception. He's a phenomenal player, but again, I thought that was another little moment where we've seen Vrabel knows every little rule. He knows if you substitute on offense, they give you a little leeway to go, wait, who are we going to substitute in, right? And if we even went farther back in that play, at first one of the linemen he's coming off, and he stops. Like someone told him to stop or he knew better and like slowed down the process. And then he walked off. And then 2 guys came on, and then they tagged the other guy in the field and go, hey, get off, to make it even slower, right? But still, the refs, we know this is a little gray area in the rules, and that, to me, just caused a little more chaos and uncertainty from the Broncos in that moment right there.
And it's a reality that the Patriots helped contribute to because they used to be very aggressive about making their substitutions, and then you don't match, and then they're in a position to create a mismatch.
Right.
If we can show it again, because you can see the umpire who stands there on the ball, allowing the defense, allowing the players to get off, and see once they're almost off, that's when he drops back into position, and the quarterback's able to snap the ball. But you're right, the human element there is, come on, man, we got to go. We got to hurry. The way that works is the way it works is if they milk it just right, you run out of time.
Yes, that's
you take the delay of game if you substitute late enough that the defense matches. They've had their chance to match, and if it goes to 0 before that umpire drops out, you get the 5-yard penalty.
That's right. You substitute. It feels like you get, if you substitute on offense, which they substituted a little late, it feels like they give the defense about 10 to 15 seconds on a given play, give or take a few here or there, to go, okay, figure it out. What do you guys want to do? And they took every bit of that. And that to me, again, causes the chaos to go, like for the Jarrett Stidham to be like, oh my gosh, hurry up. Instead of, if they ran out there, substituted really fast, and now they're lined up with 12 seconds, he might have been able to adjust the protection to where now his back doesn't get run over by Ellis and he's in his face, right? There could have been, oh, wait, they're playing this coverage. Now we look up, hold on, let me change your route combination, blah, blah, like do that. All of that was taken away because of the brilliance of the Patriots, again, in their situational football. And it's those little things. Like, right, I used to say this to people all the time. Having worked in New England, even under Bill Belichick, I mean, people would always go like, oh, they're so lucky. Oh, they're so lucky. Oh, they're so lucky. And I was like, let me just tell you, after being there, nothing's luck there, right? At some point, you got to go, wait, They seem to win every situation and every crazy moment. Why is that? Whoa. Well, I've been to some practices, and damn, Bill Belichick practices all of these situations and talks about them constantly. And that's why they were next level, and that's why they look like they're next level now. And a lot of the teams in football don't pay attention to all that little stuff to the same capacity, I think, that Vrabel and Belichick and Parcells before him all did. And that's what's been able to separate them and make Mr. Kraft's Patriots the shining beacon of success in sports in America right now.
It is amazing to see all these different substitutions in and out. There was a time where no substitutions were allowed, and I remember back when I first started watching football, the primary purpose of the substitution was to run the guy who had the play.
Yeah, right.
There would be a backup receiver usually who would be there with Tom Landry, and he'd take off out to the huddle to tell the quarterback the play.
Right.
That was the primary purpose of substitutions when they first started to allow them, because it was otherwise signals from the sideline to the quarterback. All right, one more play from the game. The one that sealed it for the New England Patriots. They weren't going to throw the ball on that final drive as they were trying to put the clock into a position where they could just take knees and go home. So Drake May with a bootleg to gain the first down, and he apparently didn't tell his lineman he was just going to keep the ball.
Yeah.
But, why he's smart. Why are you going to throw it here? You can outrun that guy to the edge. You can get there.
Right.
Get there and do it. Don't take the chance throwing the football in those elements.
I would bet you, and I don't know this, but I would bet you almost anything that Josh McDaniels called the running play and said, hey, keep the ball, right? Don't tell anybody, keep the ball. Because sometimes when you call the bootleg or you call it around the edge, the offensive line doesn't block the run play that you've called quite as aggressively, because they're like, I don't need to really make this block.
That's a good point.
Right? I don't need to make this block on the right side of the line because he's keeping it and going the other way. But when you don't tell, right, now the line's going, they're running the ball. We're running the ball. And they come off with that same aggression, and that little stuff right there now makes the defense go, oh, wait, they're running the football. Oh, no, he kept it. Uh-oh. And that, I would bet you, is what happened. Drake May's the man, don't get me wrong, but I don't think in year 2 in this moment he would have the guts to go, I'm going to keep it right here, not tell anybody, and, the hell with Vrabel and McDaniels and all that. I would think he got a little angel in his ear to go, hey, keep the ball around the edge here. Don't tell anybody. Call the run play.
Hey.
Yeah.
It may have been, and I got a feeling Vrabel was involved in that too.
He might have been too.
Because you think about it, you got the other 10 guys, or at least the 5 who were blocking, as they come out of the huddle, whatever tendencies they have, whatever tells they have, are possibly being interpreted pre-snap based on film study. I mean, this is next level self-scouting yourself to the point where if this happened, you've made your offensive linemen believe that they are going to do the thing that you think the defense is going to pick up from their pre-snap demeanor and mannerisms. Right. So when they do that, it's completely wide open because they've done nothing to suggest that they're going to have to try to block for the bootleg. It's just freaking genius. It really is.
I would bet that's what's happened. And I do have a relationship with Josh McDaniels. Maybe when the Super Bowl's over or whatever, he'll tell me the truth of what went down there. But I've been in that moment before and had it happen to me too. Where I've had a coach just go, hey, just call this play, but, keep it here. Don't tell anybody. Just keep it off the edge, and boom, it's there. And it's that little extra selling, right, that does sometimes sell it to the defense. To your point with, maybe those stance, how you fire off the ball, any of that. Hey, that 4th down the Broncos didn't make early in the football game on the little, bootleg pass. I guarantee some of their setup and how they line up is a little different when they call that bootleg pass as compared to if they actually ran the running play, right? And those are things that usually this late in the year, good defensive linemen can pick up on, just a little nuance there to go, this doesn't feel like he's really trying to block me to run the ball here. And I think that's where, again, little things like that, that's what makes Vrabel incredible, Josh McDaniels incredible off of that. And it's not luck that the Patriots are who they are.
The margins are so close. All it takes is one little thing like that. And Vrabel has proven he's got the right combination of Belichick and Parcells. He's got the right amount of true intelligence and emotional intelligence. He's just enough of a jerk, but not too much of a jerk. And he can be a jerk with a smile on his face. And he knows when it's time to break out all the different things. He just knows instinctively what's going to work and when it's going to work. And he's always had that way about him. And now they're on their way to the Super Bowl. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.